So Green Bay played they played the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. It was an exciting game, actually. Surprising. I thought it wouldn't be that close, but the Chiefs played them pretty close. I think it ended up being like a 7 point game. And so the question has to be asked with the way that the Chiefs are made and how Green Bay was able to beat them. How good are the Green Bay Packers, and are they this good, basically? Because they only have one loss on the season, so we have to ask the question: are they this good? What's your thoughts on that?
You said, "Are they this good?"
Yes, are they this good to the point where, like, because their record, they only have one loss on the season. It was to
Mhm.
the Eagles, and they were an interception away from being undefeated right now. So, are they this good?
I believe so. I do believe that they're this good. Aaron Rodgers past 2 weeks has been playing like the old Aaron Rodgers that we know of.
What you mean?
Last
He
game,
never left.
I know
Aaron
he
Rodgers
he
been
he,
here.
he never left, but like he's been playing on MVP caliber times two like these past couple weeks. He went crazy last week, and their running game has been there. Aaron Jones has been showing up. He's been relying on him a lot. He's been catching a lot of passes for a lot of yards out of the backfield, stuff like that.
For
But yeah,
sure.
I think they're just good. Their defense. He finally has a good defense. Well, a decent defense.
Eh, eh.
Decent. Usually his defense is probably one of the worst in the league. I mean, they're giving him something rather than giving up like 30 points a game, how it was these past few years. But yeah, I believe that they're this good as long as their defense can improve. Um, Aaron Rodgers just keep on doing him. Aaron Jones keep doing him, and they should be good.
Well, the reason I say is because, like, you look at their past few weeks. I mean, they played the Cowboys and they played phenomenal on defense at first, but then what happened in the fourth quarter? They started giving up a bunch of points and it ended up being only like a 10 point game at the end of the fourth quarter. And then
Hmm.
you look at the way that the Raiders, like when they played the Raiders were moving the ball up and down the field up until a certain point where Aaron Rodgers took over, and it's almost like they took their soul out of them, and like they didn't have a response, they didn't have a counter punch. So I mean, but before that, they were giving up yards like crazy. And then this game, you're facing Matt Moore. And Matt Moore isn't the worst quarterback ever, but he's a backup for a reason. And yet the Chiefs scored 24 points, which is pretty good. And that's close to 30. Let's not act like that's not close to 30. That's pretty bad. I
That is
mean,
a touchdown, though. It's a touchdown.
yeah, but it came down to a final stop, which you do have to give the Green Bay defense credit that they are able to get stops when it comes down to key moments. But I mean, Matt Moore went 24 of 36 for 267 yards, two touchdowns. His QBR was above average. It was only 57.7, but still, like, that's pretty good for a backup. And that's not a good sign, because when you face some of these elite defenses out here, what are they supposed to do? I mean, if you play like that, you're going to get beat. Honestly, you're going to get beat. So that I still have some questions about this Packers team, because I trust Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers to me is still a top 5 quarterback. He's always been a top 5 quarterback. People just decide to sleep on him and for hate on him for
Mhm.
no reason, in my opinion. But still, I'm not sold on their defense. Not like I was at the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, I thought that they were going to be a great defense with the way that they played, but looking back at it, they have slightly decreased in their output the past few weeks as they've played better offenses with better quarterbacks.
Yeah. Quick point of order. You said how Matt Moore had a good game. Well, yeah, he had a good game for a backup. I feel like we need to give more credit to Andy Reid, right? People just get so caught up in having Patrick Mahomes doing all these flashy plays,
Well,
throwing the ball,
we can
and
talk about that later, bro, because I feel like that's a separate topic in of itself.
all right.
But so I just wanted to stay on topic for this. We'll talk about it right after. We'll get on to talking about Andy Reid and how good Patrick Mahomes is. But with regard to the Green Bay Packers, I'm not sure. I'm not sold yet, and it's not just because of this one game. We've had multiple sample sizes now where they've completely started to collapse as the game goes on. I mean, like I said, against the Raiders, the Cowboys. Also, I think against the Broncos, they gave up over 150 rushing yards. And so you question it. And also against the Eagles have struggled at times this year. And yet the Eagles were able to run the ball on that defense. I'm not as worried about their secondary as I am their their run defense, I guess, because I think they can get a pass rush, so they can help out the secondary. They have complementary parts, and they also have one of my favorite safeties in the league, in Amos. So,
Amos.
yes, bro, one of the fastest safeties in the league. So, like, they have some pieces to help out the secondary, but against the run, they're a bit shaky. They're a bit shaky to say the least. And so, but I definitely like. I think Green Bay is good, and they're a really good football team. But I just don't know if they're one loss good. I mean, Detroit almost beat them, and probably should have beat them because of the BS penalties that the refs called, which is a completely different subject because the refs are just they're taking over too many games, just to put it out there. But other than that, I would say I have some questions about their defense, but again, like Aaron Rodgers is so great in the way he's able to develop, or he has developed with Matt LaFleur's offense, I think is remarkable. Because
For sure.
when you get this, far into your career, you sometimes don't want to change your way of play, and he definitely has. He's definitely taken a back seat in some games, or in certain moments in some games, to Aaron Jones. I mean, Aaron Jones went bananas this game. I mean, 13 carries, 67 yards is not amazing for a running back, but I mean, 7 receptions, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns for a running back. That's amazing. The way Matt LaFleur is able to utilize his running backs, and I think the other running back, Williams, I forget his name. I apologize for
Jamal
that.
Williams.
Yeah, Jamal Williams. They're using him too in the passing game. So I just think that's super remarkable. And whenever you're able to use a couple of backs out of the backfield as passing weapons, that definitely helps out your offense, and definitely helps out your quarterback and his performance. And I think, we don't take into account that they don't have Devontae Adams still. Devontae Adams is one of the best receivers in the league. I mean, nobody really talks about him, but he just constantly produces. He's one of the best route runners in the league. So I think once they get him back, their offense will step it up another notch. And so that really is, like, I think something we got to keep an eye on throughout the season, is that even if their defense doesn't stay at that elite level, will they be able to still win in spite of that with how good their offense is? I think they can, but at this point, I'm just, I got some questions about the defense, because we've seen this story before where Aaron Rodgers might not have the best defense. They're a better defense, but we've seen the same story before where he gets knocked out early because the other team has a more complete team as far as offense, defense, and he just can't rise above that. So we'll definitely have to look at that.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, for sure. But if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button, and also click the notification bell so that you never miss an upload or stream.